thought I'd start this whole next day adventure. God, I look like shit. With just a little kind of update about, I guess, my emotions. Yeah, I didn't sleep last night just because I was so anxious about what we're going to do today, which is sail to Drake's Bay. It's about 26 miles from Bodega Bay, and it's the first leg of my big adventure down into San Francisco Bay. I'm just stressed out. I'm like, I've never done this before, so even though the weather is absolutely perfect and it's all calm, I am sleepless. And yeah, I just wanted to, I don't know, maybe I'll touch on it a little later when I've had a cup of coffee, but the amount of anxiety and like just straight up fear in getting this first leg off the ground has been palpable, man. It's like it's the biggest thing. It's the hardest nut to crack if you're doing this, especially if you're doing this by yourself, which is what well, today I'm not by myself, my friend is here, but yeah, I guess you just get comfortable in your spot. You get comfortable in the marina, feel safe in the marina, familiar, and the idea of like not knowing where exactly I'm going to be tonight and the myriad of things that could go wrong by just going round and round and round in my head. So anyway, here we go. Moon is still there. Yeah, I just thought I would try and explain one of the things that you might be going through if you're on a similar journey, meaning the boat life journey, and you spent a whole year fiddling with the boat, fixing things that break, making changes in things that you think are going to be relevant. And then the big day comes when you're actually going to move away from your safe little spot. You know, as I watch all these other YouTube channels about sailing and whatnot, sailing channels, obviously lack of sleep is a big issue. Yeah, super glad that I have a buddy down below right now, fast asleep, who's going to help me do this. So, all right, here we go. Okay, so it's an hour later, and I've got the motor started. There she is in the background, and about to blast off here. It's sunny. There's a little bit of wind, like we had yesterday, which is nice. Hopefully, we won't have to motor the whole way. I think I've got everything ready. I don't know. At this point, I'm just going through the motions, trying to make this work. But I got my radio on, I've got my GPS on, I've got my navionics, I got life preservers, I got the safety thing over there. I am as prepared as I'm ever going to be, but still super nervous. Anybody else out there going through this? Please tell me your stories. That was your first passage. Were you terrified like I am, or did you just jump out there and do it? I am trying to be honest, and I'm very nervous. More nervous. I was just talking to my buddy this morning. I was like, I'm more nervous about this than I used to be flying hang gliders, like jumping off of cliffs and being towed up behind a small airplane. I just get up there and do it. I just didn't think about it, but you know, time has passed. I'm older now. I guess I'm wiser. So I guess that makes me more nervous. But it's definitely one of the harder things to deal with is that churning feeling in your gut. Like, have I done everything that I need to do? Because if anything goes wrong out there, it's going to be my fault. That's the way I feel at the moment. I had a cup of coffee, but my nervous stomach made any kind of breakfast undesirable. After waiting around for an hour or so, hoping for the wind to fill in, which never happened, we were off, very, very slowly. Here we are leaving my Bodega Bay slip for the last time, definitely my favorite way of doing it,
One person on the helm and another on the dock, making things nice and smooth. What little wind we had was blowing straight on the nose as we went up the channel, so the sails stayed packed away. The day before, the wind was gusting over 30 knots, so I had postponed our departure. Now we had the opposite problem, but as a novice sailor, I figured that this was a good problem to have. When we got out to the open ocean, I raised the mainsail and hoped for the best.
Okay, another quick update here. It's approximately 2 hours into our trip so far. We've done, I don't know, 5-6 nautical miles. We've been motoring the whole way. No wind. Over my shoulder, it looks like there might be a little wind coming in here, so hopefully we'll catch some wind. I was afraid of this, and I filled up my diesel tank all the way, but I just don't know. I've never done a longer than 4 or 5 hours. Not even that. I've never done longer than 2 hours on the motor. So yeah, we'll see how far we get. Hopefully this wind comes in behind me. It's looking like it might fill in over there. That kind of darker area is wind, I think.
The first leg of our journey out to Drake's Bay from Bodega Bay was 26.1 nautical miles. With just enough wind to keep the sails open and not a whole lot more, Dagny's Perkins diesel chugged away happily, and there wasn't much to do but attempt to film the many whales that got in our way.
You must know when the camera's out. 30 seconds. Oh, there's the hump.
Other notable wildlife we saw were these basketball-sized jellyfish.
Dolphins over there. Dolphins? Yep. What? 2 little dolphins. Definitely not whales. Okay, so that's Point Reyes National whatever. There's a lighthouse up there. We got to go around that point, and we got another about 4 miles at that to get into Drake's Bay. Motor's been running for 7, almost 8 hours straight. Very little wind. Got the mainsail still up because it's helping to steady things out a little bit, but it hasn't really been doing us any good other than that. So I am still very anxious, but I'm looking forward to throwing the anchor down and turning the motor off. Yeah, I'm checking to see how much fuel I have left. I filled up the tank before I left Bodega Bay, but I don't know what kind of mileage I'm getting. I'm really hoping I have enough to make it all the way into San Francisco, because I think tomorrow when we head out it's going to be even less wind than there is right now. So I got, well, now it's, as soon as I point the camera it's 4.4, but we did have 5 a second ago. Come on, you get 5, just one to the camera. Come on. 3.6, it's going the wrong way. Anyway, we're approaching Drake's Bay. Last little leg, we got both sails up. Got a bit of wind. Got to round those rocks up there, head back into the wind and drop anchor. Oh, 4.6, 4.2, 4.3. It's not going to give it. You gotta just trust me. It said 5.6 at one point.
As we reached the point, after motoring for 6 or 7 hours, the wind suddenly filled in and we achieved a top speed of 6.5 knots. At this point, we had been motoring all day at about 3.5 knots.
Sailing. Finally sailing.
Turning the corner towards our anchorage for that night put us straight into the wind again. If the engine had died, I'm not sure what we would have done, but thankfully it didn't. Dropped anchor in 15 feet of water, backed down on the anchor, and then finally turned the engine off. The main thing that I learned was that motoring was slow and annoyingly loud, but we had more than enough fuel to get down to San Francisco Bay the next day.
So I'm pretty sure you can't see any of this, but that was my first night at real anchor. And 6:30 in the morning, super calm here in Drake's Bay. The sun's coming up and we're about to set sail. Well, not going to be much sailing today. It's going to be mainly motoring. But yesterday went really well. We have plenty of fuel, which is what I was nervous about. So we can really kind of gun it and get to our destination a little faster today.
We fired up the motor, shattering the silence at the crack of dawn, and left Drake's Bay early. We were the first ones out. Legend has it that Sir Francis Drake had sheltered in this bay on his circumnavigation, and the cliffs that he saw here had reminded him of the white cliffs of Dover back in merry old England.
Definitely the best seat in the house up here on the bow and the motor running. We are approaching the gate. It's about probably 2 hours away or an hour away. I don't even know. It's hard to tell distance out here in the water. But you can just barely see it right there poking up behind the hills. That is Golden Gate Bridge. Whales!
Tried filming more whales. You'll have to take my word for it. It was more impressive in person. Day 2 was just as calm as the first day. There was a little swell going through the dreaded potato patch, but the only real danger we faced was sunburn, which is really odd for San Francisco.
The Golden Gate Bridge. There's Alcatraz in the background. We made it.
Well, we got a ways to go, but we made it to the gate. Fantastic.
We had to really gun it to maintain 3.5 knots underneath the Golden Gate Bridge. That meant we were probably pushing 2 knots of current going under the gate.
Made it to the gate! Made it to the gates. What is this guy doing?
We turned left and were heading north when we noticed a jumbo jet apparently dive bombing the city of San Francisco.
Dude, look at that. No, he's going down and up and...
What was actually happening was the San Francisco Air Show, which was a huge relief because from our angle it looked very much like a terrorist attack. At this point of our epic no-wind adventure, either the cameras died or we were just too busy dodging other boats to film a whole lot. We motored past Angel Island through the Raccoon Strait. It's called Raccoon Strait because a 26-gun British warship named the HMS Raccoon was repaired there in 1814. Then under the Richmond Bridge, then we turned left again, still motoring into San Rafael Bay and then up San Rafael Creek, which was narrow and shallow. I was glued to the tiller and didn't think to film any of it, but we made it safely into Lowry's Yacht Harbor Marina, which cost $50 for the night.
Hello and welcome back. It is a bright sunny morning here in San Rafael, California. I am hunkered down in this little marina. It's a nice little marina. I'm surrounded by big kind of motor trawlers on either side. The sun's coming in already. It's only 10 o'clock in the morning and it's going to be a scorcher today. It doesn't get that hot out here normally, but it's going to be hot today. I think the plan for today is to sail to this little free anchorage called Paradise Cove. Tonight I was hoping for a good night's sleep and I had a mosquito in my ear all night long, which was awful. Leaving San Rafael down this muddy channel on our way to Vallejo. Change of plans. We were going to go to Paradise Cove, now we're going to Vallejo. We are sailing on the bay with big old boats, big ships. One coming that way. Coming that way. 2.8 knots. Sailing along doing 2.8 knots. Lovely, beautiful. We're gonna have to start the motor here soon, but right now we're just enjoying this lovely breeze.
With big boats bearing down on us and not enough wind to get away, we fired up Dagny's diesel once again and headed north to Vallejo.
Motoring along. Sailing trip, I've sailed for approximately 20 minutes. That's okay. I'm making good headway. Doing 5.9 knots with the motor at the moment, which is awesome. I'm supposed to be into Vallejo around 6 o'clock tonight. We'll hunker down there, and then tomorrow morning we'll go up the Napa River. Massive tugboat is overtaking me.
The second day leg from Drake's Bay to the marina in San Rafael was 38 nautical miles, and the run to Vallejo was another 18.2 nautical miles.
Another big ship. Trying to give him a wide berth. These guys move super fast. He's towing his own tugboat. He's going about the same speed as I am, which is kind of annoying. because I need to go across his bow. There's a ferry going into Vallejo. We're going to chase after him here. I don't think we're going to catch him though. In the Vallejo. There's Vallejo.
Technically, this is the Napa River, but I've heard it referred to as the Mare Island Strait. That's Mare Island backlit by the setting sun. They used to repair World War II era ships here and later built nuclear subs here. We were escorted in by jet skis.
Witness on the hill.
The Vallejo Municipal Marina is known for some tricky shallow bits, but we arrived at high tide and had no trouble tying up to the guest dock. One night in the Vallejo Marina cost $32.
Good? All right.
The next morning we were up early and ready to ride the incoming tide up the Napa River.
It is day 3 of my little adventure here on the way to the Napa Valley Marina, and we are just now leaving the Vallejo Marina over yonder. We had a lovely evening. Actually got some sleep, which is great. And now we're just waiting for the bridge that you can see behind me. We're gonna wait. We called it in, and they are going to open it up here in just a moment, theoretically. Called it in for 8:30 to see if they're on time.
We did circles waiting for the bridge operator to arrive, which happened around 9 a.m.
It's going up and up and up and up and up. Bridge we go. Pretty sure it's high enough. We'll find out. Wow, that's a trip, man. That is a trip. It's got plenty of room, but it doesn't look like it. Thank you.
Once we cleared the lift bridge, we went under Highway 37, which required no lifting. On the other side of Highway 37, the Napa River appears to open up, but looks can be deceiving and the channel is actually very narrow. We didn't have any trouble, but I wouldn't want to attempt this without navionics. There were lots of little houses along the way, and a quick Zillow search indicated that you could pick one up for anywhere between $500,000 and $3.5 million. The Napa Valley Marina was clearly marked with a lovely sign, and our last leg up the Napa River was 7.8 nautical miles.
Well, made it to the Napa Valley Marina, where I'm going to get some boat work done finally. And only took me 3 days to get here, motoring pretty much every day. Well, actually not every day, motoring 99% of the way here. But we made it, and now we know the engine works really good. So yeah, success.
In total, it was actually 4 days to the Napa Valley Marina, not 3, and 89.1 nautical miles, out of which we only sailed about 1 mile, which happened out in the open ocean near Drake's Bay. Dagny made it. The Diesel made it. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe or leave a comment. If you'd like to help out, there's a PayPal and Patreon links in the description below. Tune in next time when Dagny will finally get her bottom clean.